What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. If you happen to be new to the channel, or you're just enjoying the content, then be sure to ground and pound that like and subscribe button. And don't forget the most important thing, to turn on post notifications. That way you know each and every time a new video is uploaded or a stream goes live. All you have to do is reach up there and trigger that bell. Now today I bring you a whopper. And the reason I say that is we all know, I'm pretty sure you either looked at the skill tree of it or you have seen it on social media, and also certain builds are just running rampant with the new specialist. And that is why I bring you something that, in my opinion, is going to be, I guess, the changing of the tide, even worse than it was before, especially if you thought, LMGs were just superly overused. Well, I hate to break it to you, but it's gonna get worse. And I'll tell you why. So, let's just go over the talents of the new gunner, shall we? Every fifth reload is 50% faster. Armor kits repair 100% armor and grants 50% bonus armor for 10 seconds. Now, even if you do it the way I'm about to show you, the typical way that everybody has been running, but if you use such as the things like efficient, which is, as of right now, efficient isn't supposed to work with the likes of, say, unbreakable. So you'd have to switch it up. But if you're like in the normalized, you can use bloodsucker and efficient, and then just go with a super pulse with with extremely low cooldown, or even around like 20 seconds for that additional extra boost in damage for that prolonged little 10-second period of time or so, depending on your mods in it. But just imagine that, and spamming medkit. Say you just take a couple bullets of damage and you feel that you're getting pushed, then you just pretty much burn an armor kit, and since you basically are using efficient, you have double the armor kits. So in turn, you not only get 100% armor repair, so you get back up, you topped off your armor, even if you, let's say your armor's halfway gone. So your armor is topped off, and then you get a bonus of 50% armor for 10 seconds. So basically the same amount of time as one stack of Bloodsucker. One stack is in the normalized 20%, ODZ 25. So basically you're getting, let's just for instance, double the amount of one stack of Bloodsucker for the same duration of that 10 seconds. So you can basically spam the med kits and the armor kits due to efficient, and then voila, you get basically 150% armor. And then if you top that with the Bloodsucker, so to speak, with the two-piece True Patriot, thus my Chupacabra build, the original, then you're going to be stripping off armor twice as fast, getting those Bloodsucker procs twice as fast, and then plus, if you utilize efficient along with the armor kits, and using the gunner specialist, and you have this unlocked on your skill tree, you're getting 150% bonus armor, or 100% of your armor back, 50% on top. And then let's say it's a 1v1 type situation. They're not using the gunner, they're using the traditional demolitionist with an LMG, and then bam, you're basically going to get mowed down, because not only will they have all their armor plus a stack of 50% bonus, they're going to rip off your armor and in turn get even another stack of Bloodsucker. And one might will say, well, I'm just going to sit there in my heal in a hybrid build and just hope that I can use my armor regen and my skill power on my chem launcher to repair my armor faster than you can, rip it off. Thus, the two-piece True Patriot, the 10% damage to armor, and plus if you have high damage on an LMG, then you're not going to be able to heal. Even if you do, once your armor is stripped, and let's say you do heal back 1 or 2 bars, well, that's going to immediately get ripped right back off with just 1 or 2 rounds, so that's going to stack another stack on top of Bloodsucker, and you kind of see where this is going, right? But wait, just wait, it gets better. And then on top of that, if you get a kill, it grants 5% armor on kill. And that's just level 1. Then it goes to like 7%. Then I believe it's like 10% armor on kill. And then, I'm not too worried about the, the riot foam grenade. And then let's say you have the, the Banshee pulse on, then you're confused as long as and still getting melted. And then we had the supply line generate 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds. Party members recover 5. Then you get the 20% weapon handling whilst not moving, need to be motionless for 1 second. So if you are using the unhinged LMG like most people are, and you're getting negative 20% weapon handling, or 25%, and then 1 second, and then bam, you're only like 5%, negative in the weapon handling category. So basically, you're going to have near close to pinpoint accuracy on top of all that. And then rate of fire increases by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. So basically, if you have all that working for you, I know 5% increase rate of fire per kill. And then if you accompany that every 5th reload, that's 55%. And let's just say, for instance, you throw in there that new exotic holster to where you just have to switch to your sidearm to reload that. Think about it. All that synergizing together, yeah, I can foresee this causing some issues, but we'll have to wait and see. But I haven't used this build in quite some time, but just for example, we went over the more or less denormalized, if my doodles just stand still, stop turning! Anyways, that was the normalized. Let's look at something that's, something that was old that I just had brought back out that I haven't really used recently. But let's just compare all that stuff with the likes of this. Yes, most of you out there with a 311-7 build will have much more armor and health. I haven't really utilized this in quite some time. But for the ODZ, just picture, 50k more armor and at least 30k more health, and that's pretty much the average of what people are now. And, with a mediocre build, 33.5, and I believe in the firing range, with compensated and, out of cover damage and all that combined, let's see. Yeah, 41k base damage. And let's just say you add a pulse on top of that, and let's say you get in the 70% proc from Unbreakable and the ODZ. So not only are you getting that all that additional armor, if you happen to, miss the timing of applying one of those med kits, and then it pops your Unbreakable where you get 70% of your armor, which in turn allows you and gives you the needed time to apply that armor kit. That fills your armor up to 100% and then gives you a bonus of 50% more armor. So I can kind of see where this is going to cause a lot of problems, especially in the ODZ when it comes to Unbreakable, and then Bloodsucker when it comes to the normalized. And like I said, this is just something I just pulled out of, of something I used to use a while back, and it's only had 10% LMG damage on the gloves. As you can see, it was only 12% on the chest piece, and of course 7 on the backpack, and then utilizing devastating, and then I have a pretty decent pulse, and of course only a 57-second cooldown. But like I said, you probably have a better than 7% cooldown. You might have, there's some pieces that'll be upwards of 20 to 22% cooldown, to where you can get that really super low, even if you have moderate skill power. Just with, certain attributes on your gear, you can get a super, super low pulse and not even have to worry about on the ropes. But, if you just want to leverage on the ropes, then don't go more or less on the cooldown. So that way your pulse is on cooldown a lot longer. So that in turn on the ropes is up longer. And then you have all this med kits and armor kits, just using a efficient in case you don't want to use the likes of on the ropes. But like I was stating, if you did use efficient, that gives you twice as much armor kits, so that way you'd only have to go like a 3-11-5. So therefore you can drop 2 of the utilities and stack even more armor on, and there's some that's even over 400k in armor, plus those armor kits getting that 50% stack, and then pretty much Unbreakable. You're going to be basically invincible and mortal. And this is just an older build that I had put away from a month ago, when before the 3.0 update came out, when basically I said the 3.11.7 was going to be more or less a new meta, and sure enough, there's more people putting out the 3.11.7 build videos. they're just following right along the path that I pretty much forged out. So if it works for you, use whatever works. But if you accompany that and spec into the LMG damage on the skill tree of the gunner, and then all those additional perks, and then you get the additional rate of fire, and if you use, like I said, the exotic holster along with the things like the chatterbox, and it could possibly proc the blathermouth, and you can kind of see where this can actually cause an issue. And I'm going to further, test all these theories out, and if that will proc blathermouth, then yeah, it's going to be some issues. So enjoy it while you can. I know I will. But just expect things to get tweaked here and there, as always, because history is repeating itself, just like in Division 1 days. So, like I said, enjoy it while you can. I just wanted to bring you a little bit of information, not more or less a build video, but just more or less telling you the possibilities, and if you are in the ODZ, then what to more or less expect, as the days and time passes on, that people are leveling up that gunner skill tree, and once it is completely specced out, then this is what you're going to expect in the ODZ or the normalized. It's going to be Bloodsucker and the normalized, and Unbreakable in the ODZ, and it's going to be efficient, popping armor kits galore, and so on and so forth. So I just want to give y'all some information and give y'all a little heads up of what to expect to come. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you fudging later.